Hello guys, and welcome to my 100 days in Minecraft video. And today I will be playing as the Enderman. My goal is to see how far I can get as the Enderman, and of course, not die. Let's go ahead and get started with the video. On day 1, I did the usual stuff like collecting the necessary gear. During the night time, I found a village rather quickly and decided to camp here. On days 2 through 4, I began collecting food and iron ore. It was also kind of weird having the mobs not attacking you at night, but I got used to it. On days 5 through 8, I went exploring down in the caves looking for diamonds. I tried setting ladders down from the top of the spot and I accidentally fell. Luckily I have a bunch of hearts. At the end of day 8, I just collected a bunch of redstone and iron, which kind of sucked that I didn't find diamonds. On day 10, I went out looking for more hay and I came across this village, but they didn't have any. I just basically spent the rest of my day killing pigs. On day 12, your boy found diamonds. I wanted to wait to enchant my pickaxe with the fortune enchantment, so I didn't mind it. On day 13, I found more diamonds. I could have waited till I enchanted my pickaxe, but I said, hey, screw it, and mined it anyways. On days 14 through 15, I made another portal and entered it hoping to find another fortress, but I didn't. I went back to the overworld and I experienced an Enderman's worst fear: rain. I ran and teleported to the nearest shade, which was a tree. Then after I regained enough health, I ran again closer to my base to find another tree to hide under. I built more blocks to cover myself, then I slept through the night. On days 16 through 17, I made a little sheep pen. On day 20, I made a cow pen. I then went traveling around to see if I can find any more villages to get hay, but didn't find any. On day 21, I began my usual task of feeding my animals. Then I built my own house. I didn't need a door because I was too tall and I don't really care if any mobs get in. As I came back to my sheep pen, I saw there were pillagers stuck inside. I went over to this other pen and saw some villagers stuck in it, and the pillagers proceeded to kill them. Since I couldn't find any hay to make wheat, I decided to plant some crops. On day 25, I decided to build a big waterway which was going to lead to water my crops. It's unnecessary, but I was bored and I just wanted to do it. On days 26 through 27, I was done building the blocks for it and all I needed was the water source. On day 28, I added the water, and the idea was that the water was supposed to go down the 3 paths, but only went down 1. After fixing the problem and getting rid of some of the blocks that were blocking the waterway, I finally finished building my waterway. On day 29, I found another village. I took some hay, killed some animals, then headed back to my base. On days 30 through 32, I did the usual stuff like fixing up the garden, feeding the cows and sheep. As my sheep farm was growing, I decided to extract wool and use it in the future to make more beds to find ancient debris in the future. On day 37, I went back to the village I found earlier hoping to find supplies, but I didn't find jack shit. On day 38, I built a bigger pen for my sheeps because they were growing too big in numbers. On day 39, I built bookcases for my enchantment area. I didn't have enough to be able to get the Fortune 3 enchantment, so I had to hold off for now. On day 43, I made a sugarcane farm. I first laid down the wheat and the water, then I set down hoppers. On day 44, I added the piston and the observer, and now my automatic sugarcane farm is complete. The whole point of it is that as the sugarcane grows, once it reaches the height of the observer block, the pistons will push the sugarcane down into the hopper for me to grab and repeat the cycle. Pretty cool, right? On day 47, I made a chicken pen, just in case I needed arrows and possibly food. On day 51, something possessed me to go out looking for a desert. I went out the entire day and didn't see one drop of sand. At nighttime, I was confident that I could find my way back home, till I realized I had no clue where I was. The only thing I had to guide me were my coordinates. Luckily, after a while, I saw some familiar landmarks, then eventually my base. On day 52, I decided to make another sugarcane farm, but this time it was going to be twice as big. On the morning of day 53, I started to use my fishing pole to mess around with the mobs. Then later on, I removed some of the dirt near the sheep pen because the iron golem kept getting over the fence using the dirt right next to it. On day 54, I went exploring in the nether for another fortress again. I came across some hoglins to see if they were friendly, and they started to chase me, so I took that as a no. On day 56, I went back down mining for diamonds, and after I found some, I mined the first diamond block, but didn't mine the rest. It took a while to find it, so I wanted to wait to enchant my pickaxe and get the most out of each block. On days 57 through 58, I built a rooftop for my house just in case it rained. On day 60, I began making a lot of wooden pickaxes, which I was going to use later for the enchantments. On day 62, I went around collecting sugar canes to make more paper. On day 64, I decided to risk it and travel overseas to find a new desert and hopefully a temple. After a while, I saw land. I even saw sand, but I didn't find a desert. Disappointed, I went back to my base and just decided to never look for a desert again. On day 67, as I was roaming around, I found an Enderman in a sticky situation. Never have I seen this before, but he was stuck inside the ground right by a puddle of water. That is the worst position for an Enderman to be in. I could have left him, but I helped him out instead. On day 68, I decided to work on my second sugarcane farm, but I began questioning whether I wanted to finish it, mainly because I was lazy. On day 70, I found a new cave opening to explore, and I was hoping I could find diamonds at the bottom. On day 71, I found a good chunk of diamonds, but wasn't gonna mine it yet. I lost footage for day 74, but I basically enchanted my pickaxe. I lost footage for day 74, but I basically enchanted my pickaxe with Fortune 3 and it was my first try. On day 75, I mined all the diamonds I found earlier with my enchanted pickaxe, and I collected a total of 58 diamonds. On day 78, I was determined to find a nether fortress. I went the opposite way and traveled quite a distance. After a while, I gave up. Once I got to a section that I couldn't teleport to the other side easily, I decided to give up and I went back to my nether portal. On day 79, I found a bastion, which made up for me not finding the nether fortress the previous day. I didn't stay too long because I got spooked by the hoglins, but I was going to return. On day 81, as I was traveling, I accidentally fell into lava. I was in the lava for a good bit before I decided to teleport up, but then I fell back down into the lava. I teleported to the nearest block, got stuck inside, and now I was losing health by both being stuck inside this block and from the fire. Luckily the burning went away and I found my way out. I spent the rest of my day killing hoglins. On days 83 through 84, I began making beds to bring into the nether. I then began mining down to the 11th coordinate. On days 85 through 88, I was collecting ancient debris. On one day, as I was leaving the nether, a zombie pigman came with me. I wanted to see if I could capture it, so I went to my base to get my fence, but when I came back, it was gone. On day 92, I went exploring in this distant cave and I got lost. It was quite annoying, but luckily I did find my way out, but I wasted an entire day. By day 94, I was getting pretty bored. I made a diamond block and put it in between 2 gold blocks, but that was pretty much all I did. On day 97, I could upgrade my chest and legs to netherite armor. It probably would have been smart to repair my diamond armor before doing this, but I was almost done with my 100 days, so I was just like, hey, what the hell with it. On day 98, I went back to the bastion to kill hoglins and look for treasure. I found ancient debris and that was all I needed. On day 100, I upgraded my helmet to netherite armor. I then went to say goodbye to my animals, and to show them my gratitude, I began killing them, and then I did nothing else for the rest of my day. And that concludes my 100 days as Enderman in Minecraft. So I ended it with finding a bastion and netherite armor, but I couldn't find a nether fortress. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and hit that like and subscribe for more 100 days. Thank you and goodbye. If I changed